Okay, our MLS end of year awards. Alexis and I have not discussed this either, so we don't know what.
That's the thing. We don't know who each other chose.
Okay, so coach of the year. Do you want to go first? Who'd you select?
I wanted to pick Cherundolo.
Sure.
Right, but I have it pulled up here. What did he get? He got
Supporter Shield.
supporters the most points of anyone of any first year coach ever.
Okay.
But he had so many people around him, so many players of a high ilk.
He adopted a very good team.
Yeah, but also they brought in a bunch of great players as well.
Yeah, that helped.
So as much as I love you, Cherundolo, first person to say Cherundolo.
Mm-hmm. You got to say Cherundolo on this one.
So yeah, you Cherundolo did not get that. I went with Jim Curtin, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's doing it again with nothing.
I wouldn't say nothing.
You know what I mean? Like he's not getting.
He's not getting big names.
He's not getting big names.
The sexy names that we all know.
He's consistently great. A tough team to beat. He went on a span there where they were basically Bayern versus two Bundesliga teams. It's hard for me to say any other coach deserved it as much as he does because it's just a level of consistency and excellence you just do not see anywhere else. Finished top of the Eastern Conference, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Beat Montreal. I went with Jim Curtin, dude.
Okay. It's interesting. While I was trying to make that decision, Jim Curtin was definitely one of the people I was highly considering. Jim Curtin won Coach of the Year in 2018, I think, or 19. I forgot exactly what year. I have it actually pulled up in front. He won in 2020. Sorry, when they won Supporter Shield. So usually the MLS Coach of the Supporter Shield winner, the coach usually wins Coach of the Year. I think that's been fairly common throughout the last couple years.
And I bet you Cherundolo wins it. But it was just hard for me to make that decision based on the fact that he basically waltzed into an MVP team.
Sure.
But also, to give him credit, even when we interviewed him before, he was like, yeah, I want to go back to the U.S. as coach. I'm like, yo, you a defender? What kind of trash, boring-ass soccer are you going to play? And he was like, no, I want to play quick. I want to play fast. I want to play attacking. And it's all of that. And he's definitely a success. And remember how down bad LAFC fans were when they hired him. Even our homie Andrew, Drew Nearpost, was like, oh, God, this guy, he's never even coached in the... And look how incredible it's turned out. So he's probably going to win it, but I got to give Jim Curtin a nod, bro.
I think that's fair. So I went with the Montreal head coach, Wilfred Nancy. Nance, right? Nancy. It is a Y there, yeah.
But they just say Nance. That's how you pronounce Nancy is Nance.
Oh, maybe I'm saying it wrong. I'm not. I think there's a Y there, but
the town Nancy is Nance.
But that's not how the team is spelled. That doesn't have a Y.
Yeah, it does. No, you're talking about Nance.
Yeah,
Nancy.
Nancy's pronounced Nance. Okay, maybe we'll see. I don't know.
He may not. Maybe the Quebecois way of saying is Nancy.
So my decision for that is you even saying like. Jim Curtin did it with nobody. Montreal really did it with
someone who I consider possibly the best midfielder in the game, in the league right now.
Georgi Mihailovic? Yeah, that's fair. But then,
and Victor Wanyama, who's a superstar defensive midfielder and deserves to be back in the league.
And he said he's probably not coming back. I don't know if you saw that.
It's up to the league or whatever. Yeah. Blah blah blah.
But no, I think he did more with less out of all the coaches that I was considering.
I wouldn't say less. Because he's got some big names. Again, Georgi Mihailovic and Wanyama probably being the two biggest. Who's the defender who also played really well? I can't remember his name right now.
Ooh, look at that. The all-star.
Whatever. Nonetheless, I'm not. Look, Montreal is my third or fourth favorite city in the world. Mm-hmm. Love Montreal. I got my heart there, but bro, I don't know, man. Jim Curtin, just the way he put that squad together, the way he got them playing. Bro, and he beat Montreal.
Okay,
in the standings.
Montreal ended up 2 points behind Philadelphia. I think that's saying quite a bit. And I
just to Montreal. Let's see what happens in the playoffs.
And for me, the choices were Cherundolo and Wilfred Nancy, right, or Nance, whatever, however you say it. All right, so let's move on. Hopefully, we're not taking too long with all of these.
We can't explain all of them.
Young Player of the Year.
Oh God, I don't remember.
You
I'm really sorry. I really thought I'd be like, I'll be able to remember. I even tried to hit back on my voting because I left the tab up.
Yeah.
And it was like, resubmit form. And I was like, oh.
Okay.
Who did you pick?
Jesus Ferreira.
So did I.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was an easy choice.
Yeah. Incredible.
Obviously,
Jesus Ferreira came up a lot for me.
He's just, he just happens to be young. He's a young DP and scoring a whole bunch of goals. He
was your nickname in high school, right? Young DP.
Okay.
Right.
Go.
Virgin.
You know what I did in the bathroom. Okay. Ferreira, yeah. I mean, I think that
we don't know what you did.
all the shows went like this, I think. Extra Time, Football Americas.
Yeah.
They all,
when ESPN FC.
Okay. Next up, Newcomer of the Year.
Ooh.
Who did you pick?
Hold on, let me remember. Who did you pick?
So I feel like I went with a choice that maybe a lot of people didn't go with because I haven't really seen any of the other MLS journalists say this name. But I went with the striker for the Philadelphia Union, Mikael Ura.
I did not. In any
I
way,
think
shape, or
he's been spectacular this year, scoring huge goals, important goals, whether he's starting, coming off the bench. Huge player, and I think a very well-deserved award for him. A nice Caruso, Cucho Hernandez in Columbus. I don't think Cucho has been fine.
I did pick Cucho Hernandez actually.
I don't. I think Ura did more. Cucho had huge goals and more like better goals, quote unquote. But how many Ura scored a few more goals than Cucho?
I think the reason I picked Cucho is because what it means to the league to get a player of his ilk at his age. It's like if you would have signed Insigne a few years earlier. He also played well. He showed he can continue that level. To me, it felt like a pretty simple choice. I wouldn't necessarily say it was the best player in the league by any stretch of the imagination, but it's also like he didn't come here to retire or didn't come here to relax.
Sure. How many goals Ura had?
Or maybe I picked Ricky Puig.
I saw a lot of people pick Ricky Puig.
I might have picked Ricky Puig, actually.
I think overall impact.
I might have picked Cucho because he's been there the whole season as opposed to Ricky.
Cucho has not been here.
But you know what I mean?
Season.
Longer.
Maybe.
Yeah, Ricky's only been here for a couple of weeks.
Ura has 13 goals. 13 goals for a new player in MLS.
I did pick Ricky Puig.
Okay.
I'm starting to remember that.
So Ura, to me, I thought was the best new player in MLS. Mike Thomas said Ura, front runner for Golden Boot next year. Dude, I thought he was incredible. One
of those players certainly to keep an eye on. Let's see if he can continue because we've seen players have like one superstar season and kind of fizzle.
Yeah, I because I haven't seen the name come up that much. I don't think he might end up winning, but I think that would be disappointing if he didn't. I think it's very, very well deserved if he did. Okay, next up, Defender of the Year.
I picked Alexander Collins.
I also picked Alexander Collins.
Not just because he was an absolute standout as a defender, but also contributed goals when needed. Yeah. Absolutely incredible.
And I think it's even more evident when he got injured. I think Cucho was the one who injured him, I believe, against Columbus.
Damn,
remember,
I'm taking ops.
Hit his knee, took him out. And those games, he missed about, I think, like 10 games, something like that. NYCFC was kind of just they couldn't figure out they were Sean Johnson has, I think, 14 clean sheets this season. There was a stretch of like 7, 8 in a row.
Right.
Weren't giving up goals, and then as soon as Alexander Collins gets injured, it is
rough time too because he gets injured right around the same time Ronnie leaves.
And Tati leaves.
Yeah, and Tati, that's right.
So it was just and then as soon as he comes back, NYCFC on this much better form. So the argument a lot of people were making was Kai Wagner, left back for the Union, who has he has a whole bunch of goals, a bunch of assists, and some people feel like
Kai Wagner's in my 11.
Okay, yeah.
But he didn't make my defender of the year.
The defender of the year to me feels like it should be a center back. But I can understand if it.
Oh, I don't care about that. As long as you're listed as a defender, you get a chance. But to me, it's like the defensive MVP.
Yeah.
So you have to be like one of those people that where if you are out, the team can't play without you almost.
Okay, next up, the goalkeeper of the year.
I mean,
I think it's pretty easy.
who'd you pick?
Andre Blake.
I picked Sean Johnson.
Really?
No, I picked no. Andre Blake has been on
like, damn, bro, you were like the
Homer
for real.
Dude. No. Andre Blake is absolutely
it's just
the pick.
It's just.
I think he has the most clean sheets, right?
Yeah, he had 15,
Yeah.
and then I think Sean Johnson was second with 14, or there might have been a couple others tied. But I mean that's obvious. Andre Blake has just been absurd, and. I mean, what else can you say? It's just a complete deserve. He's won it before. People were also saying that he should be up for MVP of the league.
You know why I wouldn't have voted for him for MVP? Because he has such an incredible backline.
Yeah, I mean, it's
you can't grade it against him because he still makes incredible saves when needed. But for me, definitely, you earn the right because especially if you notice whenever. A shot goes over the crossbar. What's the first thing a goalkeeper does is like yell at their backline.
Right.
He's helping put them together. So to me, it's like a team effort. He deserves it, though. I'd hate to take that away from him.
Right. Okay. And then MVP. Where did we go there?
I mean, to me, I've been saying it for weeks. There really is only one option for me. Mm-hmm. We talked about what a defensive player of the year means. We talked about what a goalkeeper of the year means. If you take these people out, what happens? You take Hani Mukhtar off Nashville.
Yeah,
they're just buddy. You earned it.
Yeah, I honestly was trying.
I wanted to vote against you so bad.
I was doing the last couple of weeks. I've been doing everything in my power. I'm like, how do I not vote for this guy and still maintain like a level my conscience?
Right.
He's just too important of a player. Scored too many important goals. I mean, a bunch of assists.
Has literally pulled this team back into games on his own.
Yeah, the name I was really competing against that made sense to me for MVP was my next choice would have been Sebastian Driussi.
100%. That's my number 2. And in fact, I stood there for a second. I'm like, is there a way where it makes more sense to vote for Driussi? I just don't think there is.
I don't think so either. Even though I try to take into consideration where teams finish on the table a little bit.
It's just as long as you make it to a playoff.
Sure, Austin finished a little bit higher, so I think that gave Driussi some points. But the goals came from other places in Austin, and then really
I hate to punish somebody for having better players around them, but in this case, Hani just did so much on his own and was such an unstoppable force for so long in the season. To me, it feels like he deserves it.
The next one, and I had mentioned this before, but Daniel Gazdag, I thought was made a super strong case, and I think if Driussi or Gazdag ended up winning the Golden Boot, they finished one behind behind Mukhtar. Then it would have made it a really tough decision. It's interesting too because MLS, they allow you to vote up until the day after decision day. So some people submit their votes before decision day, which seems weird, right? Want to wait till the complete.
If it's close, in this case, like the Golden Boot and stuff. But I don't think if it would have ended tied for Golden Boot, or even if Gazdag would have finished one above Hani, I don't think I still take it away from Hani. I just think he just meant so much. To me, he was the most valuable player on his team and probably the most valuable player to their team in the league. So to me, when I think of most valuable player, that's what it means. It's not just called best player in the league. It's not called best season this year. It's called most valuable player. And I can't imagine there's a more valuable player to their squad than Hani Mukhtar has been. So as far as I'm concerned, buddy, I didn't want to vote for you, to be honest with you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just something about, I don't know what happened. It ain't got nothing to do with you personal. Just something about it where I'm like, there's got to be someone who's more, and it just wasn't, dude. You absolutely earned it, honey.
And I think for me, Gazdag,
to take nothing away from his season.
No, not to take anything away. It's just that it's one of the other things where like so many players in Philadelphia were so good that it took away from how great Gazdag's season kind of was,
right?
In a weird, like,
you got outpaced. That's all.
So so that's it, everybody. Those were our votes for this year. Please tweet at us your anger. We don't really get that much hatred. I think a lot of people are like, I can't believe these guys vote.
Yeah. People, it's more astonishment.